Welcome back everybody, thank you for watching another video. So tonight we're going to revisit a comparisons video I did between the Walther Ppq Q4 tack and the Canik or Canik. I think I was saying Canik in this video because so many people were saying, oh, you're saying Canik wrong. Anyway, it's Canik TP9 Elite Combat. Now both of these pistols are excellent, but the Canik I think is the better value. Let's have a look at this video. Alright guys, check it out. I finally got these two on the table at the same time. On the right hand side we got the Canik TP9 Elite Combat, and on this side we got the Walther Ppq Q4 tack. These two pistols have so much in common, it's gonna be great to square them off. But before getting into the details of both of these, let's check out what stuff comes in the box. Alright guys, let's have a look at the stuff in the box. What's in the box? Starting off with Canik. I'm going to give the edge here to Canik because the Ppq doesn't come with a holster. Disadvantage of this though, this holster is super hard to use. You actually have to pull this lever all the way up in order to get the pistol out. But advantage there goes to Canik because the Ppq doesn't have a holster. Let's have a look at the magazines. So the Ppq comes with 3 magazines and a loader. 3 15 rounders. 2 of them have 2 round extension plates or floor plates on the bottom. Canik only comes with 2 15 rounders and a loader, and the one that does have the extension plate has a +3 extension plate. That's nice, but you know what, I almost wish that they would have taken out the holster and put an extra magazine in there. I'm going to give the advantage to the Ppq. Let me move these out of the way here. Let's have a look at backstraps. So here are the backstraps for the Ppq. That is the large, that's the small. The one that's on there right now is a medium. The Canik gives you 1 advantage, Ppq. Let's have a look at the floor plates. So the Ppq is going to give you 3 floor plates, while the Canik is going to give you 4. So because you get 1 more floor plate, going to give the advantage over there to the Canik. Toolkit wise, the Walther Ppq gives you a recoil spring that's specific to when you use it with a suppressor. So I'm going to give that advantage over to the Ppq. I don't even know if it's going to work with a standard spring on a suppressor with the Canik, but at least Walther gives you an extra spring in there. Their toolkit is pretty basic. You get a couple screws in there, some Allen wrenches. The Canik does give you a tool to take out the thread protector, which is nice because you can really crank down on it. And their toolkit actually gives you some interesting things in here. So you get a couple of fiber optic parts in there, rods in there, but you also get a small magazine release button, a large, and that little thing there with the thread actually fits into the plate that goes on the slide that you can use to rack it. Tough call, but I think I'd have to give the accessories in the box to Ppq. Alright, I got the thread protectors off so we can have a closer look here. So the Ppq is on this side, the Canik is on this side. This is the one made by Salient Arms. The thread pattern on this guy is a 1/2x28. Most websites that sell suppressors are going to advertise that. On this side we got the Salient Arms that's on the Canik. You can see the knurling on there is so nice. And it's actually convex in here as compared to the Ppq thread protector. Thread pattern on this is 13.5x1 left-handed thread. And if you had to give a winner, I'd have to give it to the Canik. Let's have a closer look at the thread patterns. Again, the Walther Ppq here has that 1/2x28 thread pattern. I'm going to sneak in the Canik right in here. That's 13.5x1 left-handed thread. You're going to be able to find suppressors for both thread patterns. You can see the fiber optic front sights in the front there. We're going to have a closer look at that in just a second, but since we're in the front, let's have a look at the front serrations here. I think the Canik probably has the sharper serrations in the front and in the rear. You got these nice sharp corners there and here as well, and they're just deeper compared to the Walther serrations. So if you got sweaty hands, the Canik's probably going to be the better solution for you. I'm going to flip it around so you can see the slide profile again. The Ppq comes into this nice taper right up to that point. The Canik has a little bit of a taper, but the Walther comes up to a finer point. Let's have a look down the barrel here. Can I get that in focus for us? Just want to show you the front there. See if I can zoom in here just a little bit. Maybe just back out a little bit right there. Trying to get that in focus so you can see just how big that front sight is. There we go. Okay, so that's what the Walther looks like. Here's what the Canik looks like. You can see that there's a size difference there, so that's just personal preference if you like a larger dot or a smaller dot. I myself like the smaller dot. I'm going to back out so we can have a look at the rear sights here. Both of these overall barrel lengths or slide lengths are going to be 7.8, so they're similar in length. Now the rear sight on the Walther I think has better adjustments for elevation on this side. Then you got your windage on that side. Only problem is that's a real small shelf. You know, I don't know if you're going to be able to hook that on your belt, on your boot, if you're trying to practice those one-handed manipulations. The Canik, on the other hand, it doesn't have the adjustments that the Walther has, but real steep shelf here and very sharp. Sometimes I get that caught in my hand. It can be a little bit painful. And you can see the Salient Arms logo there, as well as on the barrel. I'm going to lock this back here, speaking of barrels here, so you can see the fluting. So that's a match grade fluted threaded barrel you're getting from Salient Arms. See it on the top here as well. Got the nice S. So the barrel on here is a higher quality as well. So if I had to give a score right now, I'd say that right now the Canik is a little bit ahead of the Walther. As mentioned before, both of these pistols are optics ready. All you have to do is remove these two screws, find the matching plate, get it on there, and you're going to be red dot ready. Now, unfortunately for both of these pistols, the rear sight is built into that plate that you have to remove, so you won't have a chance to co-witness for the red dot that you have. But I think the convenience of having it already milled out is very easy. I think it's worth the money and the sacrifice for not having that co-witness. Both of these have Picatinny rails in the front. Both have serrations on the front of the trigger guard. I do feel, however, that I like the PPQ or the Q4's trigger guard a little bit better. It's more squared off as compared to the roundness of the Canik. And if you're going to use your index finger of your support hand, you know, it goes in a little bit to kind of go along with the contour of your finger, so you're going to be able to support it a little bit more. Look at the similarities in the slide releases, guys. The PPQ is a little bit longer, but they're shaped almost identically. Check that out, and they're both ambidextrous. So you got it on the left side of the Q4 and on the right side. Also here on the Canik, left side and right side. Alright guys, we're going to have a closer look at both of these triggers in just a little bit, so we can look at the reset as well as how heavy they are. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to flip over the Canik so you can see just how far the magazine release is sticking out from the frame. Now that's the medium. Remember, the Canik has two more of these buttons. There's a small that's going to sit more flush and a large that's going to stick out a little bit further. But I want to show you the cutout here right in there, so you can see it's very comfortable to slide your hand in there and very easy to release the mag from that. Let's have a look at the PPQ Q4 here. Nice big magazine release. Gonna tip it on its side so you can see it doesn't even stick out that far, but that same cutout exists here, so it's going to be very comfortable even with this larger palm swell for you to sneak in and really make it easy to release that magazine. Here's a close look at both of them here. You can see the palm swell on the PPQ Q4 is a little bit bigger. And as far as the beaver tail area being comfortable right now, because I'm not shooting, I have to say that they're both pretty much the same as far as ergonomics. The last thing I want to show you though is the Salient Arms magazine well. There's the S here. Look how wide that is compared to the mag well over in the PPQ Q4. So right now, if I had to give it a score again, guys, I'd have to say that the Canik, I think, is just a little bit more in front. Alright, before having a look at the trigger, let's see how much these are going to weigh. I have a feeling that the Canik's going to weigh more because of the barrel and the magazine well and the heavier sights that are on there. What's that coming in at? 1 pound, 12.5 ounces. Let's zero it out. Do one more. Yep, 1 pound, 12.5 ounces. Here comes the Q4. That just feels lighter. Yep, 1 pound, 9.8 ounces. Cleared out again. Back on there. Yep, same reading. So the Q4 is going to be the lighter pistol. Ooh. Alright, let's have a closer look at both of these triggers, starting off with the Canik TP9 Elite Combat. I really like this flat face shoe trigger, guys. It feels so good. I don't mind the red in there, but I gotta tell you, compared to the normal curved plastic trigger of the Q4, I really like the way that that feels. Let's have a look at the reset here. Alright, so here we go. No problem. There's absolutely no grit. There's the wall right there. Brakes. Alright, gonna kick it back out. Ooh, short reset. Back down and out. Alright, let's do it one more time. Okay, there it is. Clack. Reset. Out. Oh gosh, guys. In. We'll do one more. Alright, here we go. Man, that is short. And out and in. Whew, that's going to be tough to beat. Let's get the Q4 in here. Put that up there. Here we go. See, that just feels a little bit, maybe because this is a little bit newer, maybe that's going to work itself out. There is the wall. Oh no, that's not the wall. All right, I guess the wall is right there. Okay, let's have a look at the reset. Back on it. Perfect. Let's do 2 more. Okay, again, that's not the wall here. It goes back a little bit more. Still very crisp. Let's kick it back out. Ooh, back on it. Not as short, guys. I gotta say, the Canik has the shorter reset, and I think the cleaner trigger on the take up. Again, that's not the wall there. The wall's somewhere in here. Yeah, the Canik definitely has a better wall on it. Back out and back in. Well, I gotta tell you guys right now, I really like that Canik trigger over the Q4. Alright guys, time to see just how heavy these triggers are. Now the Walther site says that the Q4 has a 5.5 pound trigger. Let's check that out. Here's the first one. We're gonna do 3 of these. Oh, coming in pretty good. 4 pounds, 13.6 ounces. Let's clear that out. Do 1 more of these guys, or 2 more of these. Pull it back. 5 pounds, 3.5 ounces. That's a little bit closer to the online stat. Here is the last pull. Coming in at 4 pounds, 15.6 ounces. Still really good. Let's get the TP9 Elite Combat in here. Make sure that's racked up. Make sure that's cleared. This should be more in the 4.5 pound region. First pull, 8.7 ounces. Yep, right around in there. 2 more to go. That says 4 pounds, 1.5 ounces. Man, guys, I gotta tell you, even though I'm using this to pull the trigger, it still feels crispy. There's the last pull, coming in at 4 pounds, 6.9 ounces. Unbelievable, guys. I'm gonna give the trigger war to the Canik. So much crisper. The reset is shorter. Canik is in the lead right now. Let's see how both of these shoot. So I've shot around 500 rounds through both of these pistols now, and guys, the more I shot these, the more confused I got. I thought for sure that the Canik was going to be better because of that trigger. We saw that it's lighter weight, the trigger reset is shorter, and it's a lot crisper. It's got that flat trigger shoe that I really like, and I still do like it. But as you start to do drills and you start to move around and your concentration is on your target, those things just kind of fade away and become very minute and minimal. So what's the bottom line here? Both of these pistols are so similar. I think what's going to happen is it's going to come down to cost, because the Canik costs around $650 to $680, and it's the better pistol. It's got better components, right? It's got the saline arms barrel, sights, and magwell. The trigger is better. But when you look at it, what you're asking people to do is spend more money on a company that's fairly new here in the US versus a company like Walther that's still got a great trigger, comes with an extra magazine. Both of them do have lifetime warranties, but it's only $580 to $600, sometimes even cheaper. So which one am I going to go with? Even though I know that Canik has the better components in it, I'm going to save some money, go with the extra magazine, and go with the Walther Ppq Q4 TAC. Guys, that's the ending of the video. Hope you found it useful. If you like it, please give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Chemo365, please do. And remember, catch you guys later.